Greetings YouTube. First and foremost, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Lieutenant Gold, coming at you guys with the PCL Week 5 of the D-League. We are going to be battling the Devious Dittos and his Rain team. I know he's been having a bit of a hard time this season. Hasn't picked up a W yet, so hopefully we will not be the first one to fall to his team. Talking about that, let's put those on the screen. As you can see, I did change my team up. If you haven't seen this video, it should be the one previous to this one, if I haven't forgot to upload it. But I'm gonna have the Naga, the Gligar, Celesteela, the Serp, Diancie, Conk, Jolteon, the Crook, the Moltres, Jellicent, and the Kecleon. One thing that's changed is the Naga, Celesteela, Diancie, and the Moltres. If you want to know why I made the trains I made, other than the fact that my team was super trash, go check out the video. In the meantime, my opponent's going to be running the Aegislash and the Bulu, Tornadus, Ferrothorn, Politoed, Cobalion, Ludicolo, Silvally, Ampharos, Vivillon, and Kabutops. So right off the bat, his team is super duper scary, as in he has a Bulu, Aegislash, and Tornadus. That's a pretty cool core. Other than that, he doesn't have a ground type from what I've noticed, so Jolteon is going to be put in the finest of work. Sorry. And he has two Rain Sweepers. I haven't seen him bring Kabutops yet, and I know he prefers Ludicolo, even though he has two other grass types. But yeah, his team is gonna be pretty scary. Oh, and Ampharos. Ampharos is a big thing for my team to switch in. Very hard. This thing hits like a truck, especially with free thunders in the rain. And Aegislash is really annoying, very bulky, especially with Tapu Bulu. But yeah, no, his team, it's not a bad team. It's a weird team where he has 3 grass types, although they all do different things. He also has 3 steel types. So it's just a weird team, like I said. And he doesn't have a ground type, so and no fire type as well. As you can see, I definitely on a team builder point of view, I definitely took advantage of that. But we're gonna lead off with a shiny new toy I just got, which is gonna be Naganadel with Nasty Plot, Sub, and then Sludge Bomb Flamethrower. I did not bring Dragon Stab, even though Mega Ampharos was a threat. I actually have a lot for it. And I built this set before I saw Mega Ampharos with us in the roster, because I just assumed he had Mega Swampert. I looked at his team, I was like, oh yeah, he must have Mega Swampert. But it doesn't matter, because a +2 Sludge Bomb puts in a range of rocks, and it puts in a range of other things which I can outspeed him with, so I'm not too concerned when it comes to that. Also, I doubt he's gonna leave his Ampharos in on a Naganadel. So yeah, so Nasty Plot's substitute, there's a lot for me to be able to switch into and set up. Things like the Bulu, he likes to run either Scarf or Banded Bulu, and I can set up on that really easily. Things like Aegislash can't really touch me unless he's super duper offensive, and in that case I could kill with Flamethrower even in the rain after a +2 after Nasty Plot. Things like Ferrothorn is the freest of setup for me. Cobalion can potentially 2-kill me or set up alongside me, but I could just stall out the rain and just go for a Flamethrower. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot for me to be able to set up on. Just have to be careful with Tornadus, because we do speed tie, and I don't want to take a Hurricane, especially if he's Life Orb or Specs, which I can see him bring. Specs or Life Orb Tornadus T actually would be putting a lot of work against me. But next up, we're going to have, oh gosh, the Jellicent, with Taunt, Willow, Recover, Hex. He has no fire types, so Willow is, whatever his accuracy is, free. It's gonna be 85% free when I'm gonna go in and just Willow. The Rindoberry, along with the investments, let me put on my handy dandy notes, is going to live a Scarf Bulu Woodhammer and then burn it, and then I can go ahead and stall that out with recovers, or I could live a Banded Hornleech as well. It's a role for me to live a Woodhammer, not a role in my favor. So if I see that he's banded, I obviously have multiple switch-ins for that. And then taunt, I have speed for the what's it called, for Politoed, so I can go ahead and taunt it because I know he likes to run Toxic or Destiny Bones or Parasong, sorry, on it. So that's going to be something I could do. And then Hex, he has no normal types either. So once I start willowing everything, which is 85% free, like I said, I could go ahead and go for free hexes as well. So I could get free burns and free hex damage, which is awesome. And then recover for longevity, plus 1v1 a potential burn non-banded Bulu, as well as just overall this Jellicent kind of walls the entirety of his rain team. Oh, Rindo is also if he's Z move Lady Kilo, because that's one of his Z mons. So if he goes for like a Z Giga Drain or Z Seed Bomb or whatever, I could live that and then just recover. Obviously, I don't want to switch in. It's just a potential thing I can do. But yeah, that's gonna be. This thing kind of digs him down. It kind of walls the entirety of his team. With Water Absorb plus a Rendo and the fact that it's gets free Will-O-Wisps, it pairs up really well. And I'm glad that it's making the debut today for this team. Next up, we're going with Flame Orb Jolteon with Quick Feet once again. I know having Volt Absorb would have been great, but I needed another thing to check Ludicolo just in case he did bring that. Because if Naganadel goes down, or if it's in the rain and I can't get Naganadel to get a speed boost, then I need something to outspeed it. So with the Quick Feet, I'm able to outspeed the Ludicolo, which is something Naganadel, I should probably precise, is able to do after it gets a speed boost. After it gets a kill with the Beast Boost, it gets a speed boost. It'll be able to outspeed Ludicolo in the rain. And Kabutops, I believe they're the same speed. So that's going to be the same with Jolteon. And then the special attack is just going to be special attack, and then the bulk's just remaining with 3 thunders. Yo, let me get that rain and I will drop thunders on you. HP Fire for the Ferrothorn, I believe a 2-Kos unless it's in the rain, which is then a 3-Ko even with leftovers. And then Light Screen, I didn't need anything else on here. I could have had, I don't know, I could have Discharge or whatever. Decided to go with Light Screen because he has a lot of specially offensive threats. He's been bringing physical Ludicolo almost every week, but I kind of predicted him to bring a special Ludicolo this time around. Don't ask me why, I just thought about that. But also because I realized he had a Mega Ampharos and I needed something to take. If my team could take hits a bit better from him, that's gonna be great. So that's why I have the Light Screen, so that I can go ahead and eat hits a bit easier from that and revenge kill it. Next up, we're gonna have Cementos, the Conkeldurr, with bulk up 3 attacks with the Mach Punch, knock off Poison Jab. This kind of hits his team all around. I feel like I could get free bulk up once I'm versus Aegislash, because he's not gonna want to burn me, or versus Ferrothorn. I have a lot of speed on this. That's gonna be speed for Aegislash, so I could go ahead and get a knockoff. Although I probably should have outsped now that I think about it. But I could predict him to go for a King Shield and go for bulk up, for example, and then go for a knockoff the next turn, because at +1 I do a lot of damage. I do expect a physical Aegislash too, because I feel like a special Aegislash wouldn't be the best versus my team. Next up, we're going to have Superior. Gonna bring in a random Assault here and there every week, man. Last time we had 2 Assault. This time we're gonna bring Assault Serp. It's gonna be this is meant to chew up hits a bit more easily as well. Let me read my notes real quick. It's my Electric Resist, so it's going to be my switch in for the Ampharos almost every time. With the Salt Vest, oops, sorry about that. With Salt Vest, I do eat it fairly well, actually. Even if it's a Thunder, I think it's doing about 25 to 30%, which is really nice. Yeah, Serp is low-key bulky, dude. Low-key bulky. With Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, HP Fire, Dragon Pulse, at +2 from a Leaf Storm, I do a whole heck of damage. I even put in my notes, I just saw that. Leaf Storm is pretty spammable as long as I don't miss in caps. And Giga Drain is for recovery. He has no actual grass resist other than Ferrothorn, so, and I guess Bulu. but then I could just HP Fire on either of those. Plus 2 HP Fire kills a Ferrothorn even if he's max F, unless it's in the rain, of course, to which I believe it was not a roll in my favor. Actually, I believe it was a 2-co. But at plus 4 I do Oko, obviously. Yeah, Leaf Storm is very, very spammable. Giga Drain is for recovery because I could Giga Drain almost every time. Unless you Scarf Bulu, for example, which I scale for by going Celesteela almost every time, or Naganadel almost every time. I shouldn't have too much of an issue with it. Yeah, next up and lastly, we're going to have Mrs. Celesteela. Shoutouts to Dai, he helped me make that set. This is going to be able to live 2 heat waves, not in the rain, from a Tornadus T. Sorry about that again. Or a Z move from a Z heat wave, because that's his other Zmon, from Tornadus T. Leech Seed is semi-free. He does have a lot of I keep saying he has so many grass types, but here I am saying my grass types attacks are free. Leech Seed is fairly free because if he goes into Ferrothorn, I could Flamethrower, or if he goes to any of the other ones, I could just Air Slash, as they do not do anything to me. So Leech Seed plus Leftover is going to be what's going to keep Celesteela healthy. It's one of the main bulky Pokemon on my team, so I need this to stay healthy almost every time. I was thinking about it on my set, but it wasn't really worth it with things like Ludicolo and Kabutops, for example, as well as Vivillon. As soon as it sounds, is still a threat. And then if he has an agility, what's it called? Mega Ampharos, I would be in a bigger trouble. I believe I live a Thunderbolt too from this range. But yeah, this thing's almost 1v1 this entirety of his team, which is really nice. But that's gonna be the squad. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you guys in the battle in a little bit. Peace. Alright, and we're back with the battle portion of the video. Obviously, I just went over my team. If you did not watch that, I have a Rindoberry, Jellicent, a Bulk up 3 attacks, Conk, Quick Feet, Flame Orb, Jolteon, E-Belt, Nasty Plot, Sludge, Nasty Plot Substitute, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower, Naga, and AV Serp, and very, very, very bulky Celesteela. Look at his team. He brought the Politoed and the Ludicolo. He did not bring the Bulu, and he did not bring the Mega Ampharos, where Mega Ampharos was one of the main things I had issues with, and Bulu was also a threat which required me to pivot around. So I'm very happy not to see those. He brought the Cobalion, which unless he Scarf, I didn't really see him do much. He brought the Torn T, which I knew was going to be a threat. I'm going to expect it to be either Specs or Life Orb, or potentially Z move too. That's definitely a thing. Although I see the Z move on Ludicolo as a breaker, probably more. We're going to see the Aegislash, which I expect to be physical. And we're going to see the Silvally. He does not have a ground type, and he's been bringing Silvally ground very, very often, so I'm expecting for that to be his ground type. I'm going to lead with Jellicent. It matches up really well with anything he wants to lead with. If he wants to lead with Politoed, I expect to be a bit faster. If he does a Cobalion, I wall that for days. Ludicolo, I doubt he's going to lead with it. If he leads with the Aegislash, I have an easy pivot, and if he leads with Silvally, I'll be able to find out what type he is. So it kind of just dealt with everything. So I'm gonna leave with Jellicent. Oh gosh, Jellicent, which was not a nickname. SMH, man. I see he's going to lead with his Silvally Ground. He's going to be Silvally Ground. This is going a little fast. Yoinks, let's put it on normal. He's going to leave with Silvally Ground and go for a U-turn. Great prep on his part. If you had Parting Shot, it would activate the contrary on my Superior, so wouldn't be the best. I'm gonna fire Willow because, like I said, it's very, very free. If I could burn on anything, that would be awesome. He's gonna go into his Politoed, get his rain up, as I'm going to burn the Politoed. I'm sure he's gonna be okay with that. Burn is better than a Toxic on this one. As he's gonna go for an Ice Beam, I'm assuming predicting the Superior. I'm just gonna stay in because there's really nothing he can do to me anyways. And go for a Taunt. Like I said, I had a lot of speed to outspeed this Politoed, and I guess he's running enough speed. He's running speed, so he's gonna be faster than me. Unless it was a speed tie, he's gonna be faster than me. He's gonna double out into the Politoed. I expected that and go for another Will-O-Wisp. There was nothing he could do to me. I was kind of hoping I could get the Ludicolo on the switch. As he's gonna go hard Excalibur, his Ghost type, my Jellicent, where I could have hexed. Anyways, I picked the switch and I went for Will-O-Wisp anyways. I'm gonna go in Celesteela, my very rare Pokemon, as he's gonna change stance and go for a Shadow Ball. So he's gonna be special. So that's another thing he didn't mind being burned, I'm assuming. It's gonna go do a little chunk, quite a chunk, about 25%. He's gonna get some leftovers back. I'm gonna get some leftovers back. We're all munching over here, munching and dining. He's going to get burnt. Weird how you get burnt in the rain. I don't know how that would work. He's gonna double out into his Katrina, which is going to be his Tornadus T. As I'm going to go for Elite Seed. He did not bring either the Ferrothorn or the Bulu. So unless he went hard Ludicolo on my Celesteela, this was a free Elite Seed from my end. And you're gonna see this Elite Seed damage, or this Elite Seed heals that I'm getting, feels so nice. Leftovers for Elite Seed, I'm already almost back to full. That's crazy. He's gonna pull a double, go into Frankenstein, his Silvally Grounds, as I'm just gonna get off an Air Slash. I just want to kind of gauge what set he was. I'm gonna do a little bit of damage. I'm not that invested in offense, so I didn't expect to do too much. Like I said, just a little chip. Now, expecting the Thunderbolt, I'm gonna go into my AV Superior. It is my electric switching after all. As he's gonna go for the Thunderbolt, like I said, and it's gonna do nothing. That is 0 damage. He's gonna double out, go into his Manowar, which I believe was, yes, the Cobalion. I go for Leaf Storm, expecting either the Cobalion or the Ludicolo. I knew the rain was gonna peter out, so after I went for Leaf Storm, and get my special attack boost, a plus 2 HP fire would kill the Cobalion. Sorry. I also stayed in just to see if he was Scarf or not, which he was not. Even if he was Scarf, a close combat wouldn't have killed me, and that would definitely put him in range into HP fire, which he already was anyways. He's gonna go into his Politoed now, which I'm not too sure why. This is a free Leaf Storm for me. Even if he was Rendo, this O-Code. As I'm gonna do just that. Thank God we do not miss. I'm gonna get my another special attack boost, knock out this Politoed, and at this range, it's a roll for me to kill the Tornadus with Dragon Pulse. So that's also something good to know. And I do live a Hurricane from full. He's gonna go for Ludicolo here, go for an Ice Beam. And as you can see, that damage, that's no damage at all. Even if he went for Z Ice Beam, I would have 100% lived that, and I could have went for a Giga Drain, get all that health back. As you can see, I get all of it back, which is crazy. He's gonna go for another Ice Beam. I started to get the Freeze. I'm assuming he wasn't Z move. He wasn't Life Orb either, so maybe it was Ebel or Specs, although that didn't look like Specs damage, so I'm not sure. As I'm gonna go for a Giga Drain, try to get out of that Hurricane range. Hurricane did about 50%, give or take. Actually did about less, it did about 48%. And I'm gonna be above, that's max. And I'm gonna be above that 50% range, so I knew from that range, I believe I lived a Hurricane. But I'm gonna double out. There's no need for me to sack the Superior, especially if I needed to be healthy for the Silvally Grounds. As he's going to go for a Hurricane, and that damage is gonna bounce off my Celesteela. Now Celesteela is so tall you can't see that, but I do get confused, and we're gonna see the Life Form on him if we haven't seen it before, which I don't think we had because he switched out last time. He's gonna go for another Hurricane, and with the leftovers, this never 4-KOs me. So this Celesteela is very, very, very bulky. And with the Confuse, I'm able to break through, thankfully, and go for Leaf Seed, which is going to allow me to have my Celesteela stay healthy, fortunately, because this is one of my greater walls. This is how I deal with this Tornadus 1v1 Tornado. So I'm going to get all of that health back, go back to about 70%, I want to say. And at this point, I can 1v1 this Tornadus, even if I'm confused and I get hit. He's going to double out into his, well, not double, he's going to switch out into his H Slash. as I'm gonna go for another lead seed, predicting that. I knew that I could tell that he knew he was getting 1v1'd with the Celesteela. So I predicted switch, went for another lead seed. Even if he didn't switch out and went for a Hurricane, it was still relatively free now that Ludco is dead. Because it covered switch, but even if he didn't switch, I was still 1v1ing it because of his life orb, so he was still doing damage to himself. But yeah, he's going to go for a stats change and go for another Shadow Ball, and as you will see in a second, it hardly does anything. Actually, it does like a pretty good chunk. I'm gonna snap out of confusion, so thankfully get that flamethrower damage, and I'm gonna do a good amount. Even in the rain, that did about 50%. Granted, it was a crit, but I was 1v1 in this anyway, so it just saved us a couple turns. I know it looks unfortunate. It didn't matter all that much. It just made it so that I would get less health back. But yeah, and I also had to switch this anyways. I see he's gonna go for a D-Bond. He's gonna show the D-Bond, and I clicked Leaf Seed, unfortunately predicting another switch into something like Solvalley or Tornadus, which is unfortunate for him. And the fact that he clicked D-Bond it was really unfortunate for him. Good thing he cannot click it back next turn, because with the Leaf Seed plus the burn, he would die next turn. So I know he couldn't click it back next turn. Even if he click King Shield, he would be dead next turn anyways. So I'm just going to take that Shadow Ball and go from Flamethrower, knock him out. But just in case he wanted to get a cheeky switch, get some damage on something. I actually probably should have calced a Flamethrower kill from that. I mean, Air Slash kill from that range. That probably would have been a better play on my end. But I'm gonna get a defense boost, which doesn't really matter all that much for me. Spit F boost at this point would have been a bit more practical. And I'm gonna march on those on those leftovers once again. I see he's gonna go into his Katrina. At this point letting my Celesteela go. It didn't really do anything, and I had nothing that I wanted to take either Hurricane or a Heat Wave, or a Z Heat Wave if you wanted to go for it. As I'm gonna go into my Jolteon here, kind of scare him out into his Cell Valley, so that way I can get a light screen up. That way I can deal with his team a bit more easily. My team isn't that bulkiest, especially with Celesteela gone, so I needed something to take special hits, and he only had special attackers left. I'm also going to get the Flame Orb activated, which doesn't really matter at this point. It just kind of wears down my Jolteon, but it was something I needed in prep, so that's fine. And he's going to go fire off an Ice Beam, predicting my Superior come in. Really good play on his end, unless he didn't have anything to hit it with. And that's going to do nothing. That's going to do 0 damage. As I'm going to go for a Giga Drain and do about half, which was a crit. That was a bit unfortunate, but with the light screen and the fact that he's continuously clicking Ice Beam, it didn't matter all that much either. It just made it so that I have less recovery, or I guess it wouldn't stall out the light screen a bit less. It is a bit unfortunate, and obviously no one wants to get hacked, but those 2 crits didn't matter all that much from my point of view. Anyways, I don't know everything about his team and everything, but that's just from my perspective. I'm gonna knock him out with a Leaf Storm, as he's gonna go, because it would knock him out with a Giga Drain, as he's going to go for a Hurricane, and I live from that range thanks to the light screen, I believe. So I guess I was not in range of Hurricane last time. I'm gonna bear through the confusion and go for a Giga Drain. Not too sure why I did that. I think I just needed some chip damage. I could have went for Dragon Pulse, which probably was the better play. I don't know. I cannot say why I did that. But I'm going to double into my Jolteon. Being at -1 differential right now, and I hate doing this. I wanted to keep my Superior alive, get a bit of a differential point for my end. I know Heat Wave wouldn't be able to KO me, or wouldn't be able to kill me even if it was Z Heat Wave. And I knew that Volt Switch knocked him out from this range, so I'm just gonna go for that Volt Switch, like I said, knock him out and get a 5-0 victory versus Devious Dittos. It was a really good game. Like I said, those crits didn't matter all that much from my perspective. because it mainly on Savali, I guess, was the one that probably mattered the most, because it would have stalled out light screen turns, and then he could have killed me with a Hurricane on Superior, but then I can just go Jolteon and kill him anyways. Or I can go Jellison and go for either a Hex, or I could go into Naga and get my speed boost anyways, so it didn't really matter, if that makes sense. But it is very unfortunate. It's not something I wanted. It wasn't really necessary. If anything, it would have cost me a differential point or two at the most, because Jolteon cleaned up shop from that end anyways. But yeah, no, it was a really good game. Very good opponent. And I really hope you guys W in the next coming up week. Just glad it wasn't against me, because boy would I have gone roasted for that. But yeah, no, thank you guys for watching. Actually, before I head out, I would love some feedbacks on the videos. If there's anything else I should be doing, anything I shouldn't be doing, if the videos the sound is too loud, what the fuck am I trying to say? The music, thank you. The music is too loud. All that kind of, it's just small things. I would love some feedback from you guys. I do these videos for you guys and for your entertainment, and that's why I'm here. Alrighty, I will see you guys for week 5 versus Blazing Squid. I forgot his team name. Really wholesome dude. I've talked to him before, and his Sun team. Until then, peace.